Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Davey Deathray here. Hope you guys are having a lovely weekend so far. It's been a good one over here. I gotta tell you, I was so wired after that marathon stream last night, guys. I got like 2.5 hours sleep. I'll just tell you guys that. So tried to nap a couple times today, but it's been a busy one, but it's been a really good one. And I'm so pumped to be hanging out with you guys. Guys, yes, it says horror news. You guys know why we're here, though, right? Because you guys fulfilled a super chat goal. So pretty much you unlocked an extra stream here on the weekend. And I know there's a few things here we can talk about. There's actually like a few different Evil Dead things that came out this week. One regarding the original film and re-release on 4K UHD, and then a couple bits of Evil Dead Burn news. And I'm sorry, guys. 1 second. I thought there was an emergency. I thought I heard some screaming. I'm sorry. I just want to make sure. It's just wild what I'm hearing through my headphones. So I'm sorry, guys. What are we doing? Evil Dead Burn. We're going to talk about Zach Cregger's Resident Evil, and we're going to talk the Pitfall, the movie. They have a Pitfall movie now. I'm sorry, guys. 1 second, please. I'm going to be right back. Oh my gosh, I just want to make sure everything was okay. My brother and sister are watching Thriller out in the family room, and they're just having a really good time. No, it was just really loud. But I was just hearing screaming, like, and I don't know if you guys can hear it, but I was just like, I want to make sure everything's okay. I couldn't tell if it was like a siren outside, whatever. I don't know. Anyways, fun way to start off the stream. Yes, guys, we're totally focused now. We're Zach Cregger's Resident Evil teaser. We're going to take a look at that. We've got the Pitfall movie. I guess there's a Pitfall movie. It's one of the first games I ever remember playing in my life on the Atari. I don't know if I played it on the 5200. Maybe that was it. And then yeah, we're gonna talk some Evil Dead. We're just gonna chill out. And yeah, just such a funny little beginning to the stream. Thank you guys, everybody that came and hung out yesterday during the fundraiser marathon that we did for St. Mary's Food Bank. I'm actually going to put that link. I'll pin it in the chat just in case there's anyone that wasn't able to make it yesterday, or maybe they're able to make a donation today or something like that, or you guys want to share the the link or whatever. Like I just wanted to post it in here. Let's see here. I'll put donate to St. Mary's Food Bank. The link is still rocking and rolling. We're at that 1,500 mark. I'm so pumped and very pleased with what we've been able to raise between the two different charity streams, one back in October of 2025 and the one we just had yesterday. So I'm very, very pleased. And then, yeah, I mean, if we can raise a little bit more like this weekend or just, whenever, then let's go ahead and do that. I'll pin that message there in the chat with that link, just in case you guys want to share it or whatever. And I'll keep an eye on it. If anyone notices that it's gone up in how much we've raised, then let me know. And yeah, what else do I have? Gosh, again, 2.5 hours sleep. Maybe I need to open up a water here. How about it? Yeah, we've got some stuff to get into. I'm gonna say what's up to everybody. We got a little bit of somber news to get into, and the timing is really interesting. We'll get into that, but I'm going to say what's up to you guys, and then we'll jump on into the horror news here. So thank you again, guys, for hanging out. It's awesome. Thank you for reaching that super chat goal that unlocked the ability for us to hang out on this Saturday night. I really do appreciate it. Make sure you hit that like button if you're hanging out. If you're watching after the fact, the like button is still there. You could also jump into the comments and let me know any of your thoughts on these movies or news stories we're discussing, or maybe there's something out there where you're like, hey, Davey, like, I'm really interested in this movie, or did you hear about that thing? Like, you might like that thing. Guys, the comments section is the best place to let me know. I just want to let you know. Okay, I love covering the news. I try to be as reputable as possible. That's why I, go to a place like Bloody Disgusting and all that. I know there's clickbait out there. There are people that really do have connections. They're able to like get some stuff out a little bit early. It's difficult to tell if that stuff's true unless you're one of those people that has those sources, right? So I know we get our horror news from a lot of different places, but I just want you guys to know I always do my best to tell the full story here of what we're getting from our source, and then of course giving you guys my thoughts and kind of picking your brain on what you guys think. So jump into the comments, have some fun down there. Let's keep the conversation going and everything like that. And having said that, I'm just going to jump in and say what's up to you guys, and then we'll get rolling. We got Gina, aka My Chunky Jordy, saying, I'm not staying up until after 4 a.m. again. Ziggs would be biting your ankles, Davey. I know. But hey, Gina, in true Davey Deathray fashion, I'll be back tomorrow for the UK folks. It'll be like noon my time. So what, like 3 o'clock Eastern or something like that. So I think that would be 7 p.m. for you guys out there in the UK, noon my time. We got Paula Fitzhenry, one of our great channel members. How are you doing, Paula? Gina is one of our OG channel members as well. Can't forget that. We got Lamontre Gillard. How are you doing, Lamontre? We got Irish in Texas. What's happening, Irish? How are you doing? How was the full Ireland trip? I would imagine it was just a banger of a time after a banger of a time, over and over. Bangers and mash of a time, maybe? Dad joke? Hashtag dad joke? I don't know. Shiggity, shiggity, shwa, says Theron the Brutal. What's happening, Theron? Welcome on in, man. Theron or the Ron? The Ron, the Brutal. The Ron, comma, the Brutal. Who else do we got? We got Joe from Media Poop Shoot. Guys, give it up to Joe for hanging out with me a little bit yesterday. We watched Halloween 4 together as part of that marathon. So go ahead and throw Media Poop Shoot a little bit of love. Go over there and sub if you haven't already. One of our great channel members. We got Lenny hanging out. How are you doing, Lenny? Great to see you. Hope you are doing well. We got Corey from Wilkie's Movies and Music. How are you doing, Corey? Lenny is one of our channel members, if I forgot to say that. We've got Mr. Ben Grimm, Ben B. Larkin, one of our great channel members. How are you doing, Ben? Hope you're having a great weekend so far, man. We got Shannon, aka Talking Star Wars, hanging out. How are you doing, Shannon? Welcome on in. I know Shannon will keep her eye on the website and let us know if anything changes. We've got Noah Alliston hanging out. How's it going, Noah? Loved both trailers. You're talking Evil Dead and Resident Evil, I would imagine, right? The Celtics did lose. I'm sorry, Paula, if you're a Celtics fan. Sports can be exhilarating, it can be uplifting, and sometimes it can be quite crushing. But you know what, Paula, if you're a Celtics fan and you're bummed out, they have a great legacy. It's an awesome franchise. They've won plenty of championships. They are a perennial good team in the NBA. It sucks to lose and get kicked out of the playoffs, but I know you guys will be back, so no worries. Shannon says, did we make the donation goal for the food bank yesterday with a $5 Canadian super chat? Thank you so much for the super chat, Shannon. I really do appreciate it. There is a super chat goal if you guys want to hang out for another hour. So, I think we're probably we're already close to there. Shannon, we raised $1,500 between the two. So, goal, we've done $1,500, 7,500 meals, guys. So, and you guys made that possible. So thank you. It's the stream from last October and the stream from yesterday, a combined $1,500. Now, the goal on the website is 2,000. That's the goal, right? But the goal is to just help as many people as we can. We accomplished that goal. We'll have another fundraiser. We'll be able to make up that $500 and we'll get to that 2,000 cumulative. You know what I mean? We're just going to keep on, as the channel grows, we're going to keep on doing those charity events and keep on helping, folks. If you guys have any charities that you think would be, worthwhile getting a hold of and trying to work with, and let me know, drop a comment or something like that. We can have a conversation going about it. But I like working with St. Mary's. They're local. They don't, they help anybody and everybody out. There's no qualifying factors. Every dollar donated provides food for 5 meals. There's an incredible opportunity for that impact. I'm not going to harp on it all night tonight, but we still have that site open. And yeah, the link is pinned in the chat if you would like to throw a buck down. Doesn't hurt. More excited for Evil Dead than, yeah, oh no, absolutely. Yeah, I am so middle of the road on Resident Evil. I'm not very excited that that's what Zach Cregger wants to do for his third movie. I'm not excited that it's not even really going to follow the games or whatever. The trailer didn't move the needle for me. We'll get into all that. But yeah, Evil Dead. I'm a fucking nut for Evil Dead. I'm freaking out over that one-shot trailer. It's like a PG-13 one-shot trailer, and it still is just, I don't know. It's a sight to behold, that trailer. We got Eli Cortez hanging out. How are you doing, Eli? Welcome on in, one of our great channel members and Death Squad mods. How are you doing, Eli? We got Nightmare Files hanging out. Says, just watched Hokum. Oh my gosh, man. What did you think? Welcome on in, by the way, Nightmare Files. I loved Hokum. I've only seen it once so far during the Scream Unseen. I gave it a 4 stars, like right out of the theater. It could go up for me. Damian McCarthy is one of my favorite, like, visual storytellers that's coming up right now. I think each one of his movies has gotten better. Each one of his movies takes a look at a different kind of grief and then explores that through the horror. But it doesn't really seem like that on face value. I didn't realize that till after watching Hokum, where I was like, oh my God, each one of these movies is like a person in a different sort of, like, not stage of grief, but dealing with a different kind of grief. And we hear that a lot in horror, like elevated horror, that you deal with these, you know, more serious kind of concepts or bigger concepts. But what it really impressed me is, like, yeah, I didn't notice that until the third movie. So it's like, it is, and he does it differently in each one. So I'm like, that's great. Like, it doesn't seem samey, you know. Caveat, Oddity, Hokum don't seem samey, but they all seem, there's such style that he's got. Anyways, you know, it's kind of a review of Hokum, and just kind of me singing the praises of Damian McCarthy. But guys, if you like slow burn dread, I mean, there were multiple moments where there were some frights that happened without jump scare bullshit music and all that, and those sent chills through my entire body. Yeah, I loved Hokum. What did you think, Nightmare? What did you think? I'm curious. We got Papa John Loves Trash in the house. What's happening, Papa John? One of our great channel members. How are you doing? Let's see here. Who else do we got? We got Foz Rotten. How are you doing, Foz? Welcome on in, man. I've wrapped up this insanely busy week, and I cannot wait to nail down a date with you in May. Guys, Foz Rotten and Davey Deathray will be back for Movie Punks. I love doing Movie Punks with Foz. We're going to bring that back, guys, in a big way. If you haven't seen any of the episodes, there's a playlist on the channel. Foz, the playlist is all updated thanks to you. Thank you for the reminder. And guys, that show is just where Foz and I celebrate a movie that usually there's some sort of horror edge, but also there's like a punk rock like vibe or feel, or maybe just, you know, like Return of the Living Dead. You have characters and music that's straight up punk rock. Or we did Repo Man, you know, so like that kind of stuff. Really fun, and just kind of an open forum discussion on a film. So I'd really like to bring that back and see what you guys think about it, because quite a bit has changed throughout, or like as far as the channel goes, since the last time Foz and I did a show. So I'd love to see what all the new people that have come to the channel, what you guys would think. Jigsaw dropping a $5 super chat. Thank you so very much. Jiggy says, never fear, Jiggy is here. That's how I'm singing it anyways. There you go. Foz's channel there. Thank you so much. Thank you so much there, Eli, for sharing that. Ice Cream Man should look like it stars Elijah Wood. Yeah, cooties. I know what you're talking about there, Noah. We got Gory Tiger hanging out. How are you doing, Gory? Great to see ya. Couple of ghost bus tours and cemetery visits. Super cool. Bad joke, so bad it's funny. Thank you. It didn't even occur to me. I really just was saying banger, and then I'm like, dude, bangers and mash. Sometimes the dad jokes just present themselves, and they're just low-hanging fruit, you know? I mean, we can call them dad jokes. They're just, we could also call them lazy. Lazy Davey joke. What's happening, Carrie? How are you doing? Great to see ya. Hope you're having an awesome night. One of our amazing channel members, just like Jigsaw here, and of course Tia Nina, another one of our awesome channel members. Welcome on in, guys. We got Aaron Click about to hop in the shower. Oh shit, guys. We are Aaron Click's soundtrack to the Suds. That's what I'm calling that. Don't worry, we won't look, Aaron. Just make sure the phone is face down. Just in case. Okay. We're not gonna look, but face down, please. Which comment? Which one did I get you with? Knowing what you're joking about there. Oh no, cooties. I got you with the cooties. Maybe it was. Oh no, it was something else because I'm way behind in the chat. All right. Well, Noah, I'm guessing maybe you're feeling lukewarm on Resident Evil. Maybe that's what's going on. I'm not like poo-pooing it. I don't want to poo-poo it. I'm still in a wait and see before I get excited or concerned. But I liked Barbarian and I liked Weapons. Maybe a little bit more. I've not fallen in love with a Zach Cregger movie, so nothing against him. I just haven't fallen in love with that. What's happening, G? Welcome on in, guys. Sean G, one of our great channel members. Sean G getting sneaky yesterday with some of the charity donations. I love it. Thank you so much, Sean. Really do appreciate you, man. Okay, usually watch horror game streamers. Cool. You know what? I like to watch streamers too. I'm a huge, guys, I'm a big audience member on YouTube. I know some of you know that because you've seen me in other streams and stuff like that. But I like being an audience member is what made me fall in love with YouTube. And then 10 years later, I finally started my own channel, or however long it was that it took me to finally just buck up and do the damn thing. So I do watch some streamers as well. Some of them are just like doing retro games and stuff. I'm a big NES, Super Nintendo, Genesis kind of guy. Those are my three systems. But yeah, let's see here. What do we got? We got Irish dropping a $4.99 super chat. Says great job yesterday. Thank you so much, miss. And I mean, really great job to everybody. It was a 10-hour stream. We watched 5 movies. I was able to take bathroom breaks and stretch my legs. It was a joy hanging out with you guys. So if we're able to help people by raising food or raising money to buy food for people in need, I just think that's a beautiful thing we can do as a community. And I am so it's not that obviously I'm proud of our community day in and day out, but it's just so encouraging and awesome to see you guys do that. So thank you so very much. I feel like I'm entering this stage, where I'm just really trying to be appreciative or more appreciative of the things that I'm thankful for and the people that I'm thankful for. And yeah, it's been a wild month, but I feel better the last few days than I've felt in a really long time. And you guys are such a big part of that. I really want you to know that. You guys are amazing. You guys have given me strength in a whole bunch of different times in my life. And then we just get to fuck off for most of it too, right? So it's fun. Okay, here we go. Dude, I am so entrenched in the live audience experience, so I hope you're ready for that. If you say something worth bringing up, which I think a lot of people do, I like talking about it. Hokum was pretty good. Yeah. I think, man, it's just he's got a different kind of style, but I love the Irish folklore. Seems exotic to me since I'm an American, and it just makes me realize, every culture all over the world, there's so many that have these similar folklore stories, and it just makes me so interested to I want to see these sorts of stories, stories that have been passed on generation to generation, native tribe stories, stories from Japan, stories from wherever. I would love to see more cultural folklore. I think it's a really cool way to kind of share culture and share common fears and stuff like that. Yeah. Watched Michael yesterday. It was pretty good, but didn't see John Travolta as an angel anywhere. I'm like, oh shit, Foz. I see what you're saying. I'll be watching Hokum Thursday. There you go. Deepwater and then Hokum. Well, shit. Yeah. That's the order that I would do, or else it would be a pretty big drop off, I would imagine. We got Smith's Grove Sanitarium jumping on in 182 days until Halloween. What's happening? Yeah, I think I'm a big slow burn kind of person. I really dig it. I got a comment on a Hokum video where someone was like, this movie wasn't scary. And I was like, you know, I try to be nice. And I was like, I haven't been scared of a movie since I was like 8 or 9 years old. It didn't scare me, but it did fill me with dread, and it gave me this visceral reaction. Like, to me, that's enough. I don't need to actually, you know, be grown man scared watching a movie. Like, good luck actually scaring people, grown adults, right? So it's just like that whole thing. It's not scary. Like, okay, you could just say that about anything, right? What's happening, Fantastic Oracle? Welcome on in. Hope everyone yes, guys, check out Movie Punks. It's going to be fun when Foz and I come back. It's going to be we're going to come back swinging. So just get ready. Just get ready. Okay, let me see if I am just missing anyone else. We're just going to kind of fast forward to the front. We got Dominic St. Clair in the house. How are you doing, Dominic? Welcome on in. Yeah, I'm totally behind. Typical Davey fashion, you know. Let's see here. I don't host I'll do watch parties occasionally. Yesterday we did 5 movies in a row for the marathon. But yeah. Hell yeah, Dominic. Keep on going. I wasn't trapped. Well, during Halloween 5, I was a little bit. We did Halloween, Halloween 2, Halloween 4, Halloween 5, Curse of Michael Myers. So I enjoy most of those movies. I actually found quite a bit about 5 to enjoy yesterday. I had no choice. I had to enjoy it, okay? Let's see who else is hanging out here. We got Sean Laughlin. What's happening, Sean? We got Steph hanging out. What's happening, Skiddly Steph? Hope you are doing well. We got a link in the Discord, man. So yeah, if you want to be a part of the community over there, that's awesome. Thank you so much for the reminder, Joe. Yeah, guys, if you're hanging out, make sure to hit that like button. Nanette, how are you doing? Nettie, one of our great channel members. There you go. Welcome on in. I think we're all caught up here. Shocker. You know, I've only seen Shocker once. I got to see it again. I enjoyed it for what it was, but I got to see it again. We got Jamie Hart, our original Death Squad mod, and our Mama mod hanging out. How are you doing, Jamie? Another one of our channel members as well. Hope you're doing awesomely, Jamie. Oh, let's see here. Yeah, no, dude, no, yeah, exactly. Exactly. Producer's cut. 100%. I mean, that would have been my pick, and then I put it up as a vote to the audience, and the audience picked the producer's cut as well. Okay, cool. We are all caught up on the chat. Yeah. Let's see here. Okay, guys. I'm going to have a sip of water, then we're going to get going here. Okay, so starting things off, guys, unfortunately, on a little bit of a somber note, we found out today that Bo Starr has passed away. And Bo, it is, the timing is so wild, guys, because I'm sure some of you recognize this name, and you're like, some of you probably know exactly what I'm talking about, right? Bo plays Sheriff Meeker in Halloween 4 and Halloween 5, so we just watched a couple Bo Starr performances yesterday during the stream, and then I saw this news come through earlier this afternoon on my friend Nick from the Lost River Drive-In on his stories. And it was just a weird thing because I was like, oh my gosh, we were just talking about Bo. You know, he's a former professional football player. He played for the Jets for a little bit in the 60s, ended up playing in like the Canadian League, like that kind of stuff. And then he transitioned into acting. And not only is he Sheriff Meeker in Halloween's 4 and 5, I'm actually going to bring, let me do this and go over here. There we go. Now we can just take a look here. So yeah, he's in Goodfellas. He's in, oddly enough, he's in one of my favorite films, especially one of my favorite comedy films, Fletch from 1985 with Chevy Chase. He has a very small role. And what's even wilder, guys, is a couple nights ago on the Discord, we watch movies a lot on the Discord. A couple nights ago, we watched Fletch. And I think a couple of you guys saw Fletch for the very first time. And, you know, Bo, you might have missed him in the movie. It's really easy to miss because when Fletch is pretending to be the airplane mechanic, Bo is like the tougher looking mechanic hanging out there, kind of questioning him, like giving him the side eye. That's Bo. And then here you can see him right here. Amazing as Sheriff Meeker. Just I think Meeker's a great character, a take action kind of guy. especially in Halloween 4. He's got a bigger part to play there in Halloween 4. I think Meeker's great. I think Bo had a really cool look. Gary Cooper kind of look, a little bit bigger. You could tell he was like a football player. But it looks like, this news was, it looks like he had passed away on April 24th, and we just, the news hasn't come out. I just heard about it today. So this is from the Hollywood Reporter. Passed away on April 24th in Vancouver, Canada. Natural causes. He was 81 years old. So, Fall Guy, Fletch, the A-Team, Highway to Heaven in 1988. He was in a Three's Company episode. Really, a whole bunch of parts here and there. And a guy that like maybe a lot of people would, wouldn't even really recognize. But for us horror fans, somebody that we're going to watch on our screens probably at least once a year, I would imagine a lot of us watch Halloween 4 every year during spooky season, so, it's just, I know we keep on like losing people and everything. It is the perfect time to celebrate these, these actors, these artists, these creators, these people that we have admired their work, and their work is out there forever. They have a legacy that's going to last forever. And so it is sad when we lose people, but it's a great opportunity to remember them and to celebrate, everything they had done. And, 81, that's a good long life. And, we should all be so lucky to have, such a fulfilling existence like Bo Star here. So just, throw some love for Bo up in the chat. Maybe maybe you have a unique memory of like, maybe you saw that Fall Guy episode or the A-Team, or you remember him in something else. For me, it's always going to be Halloween 4, Halloween 5, and Fletch. I'm always that's going to be when I hear Bo Star. That's what I'm going to think, especially Halloween 4. So just wanted to share that news with you guys there. Nothing that we need to like, hang on to too long, but I just figured, in light of watching him yesterday on our big old marathon stream, just bring up the news and pay our respects. And yeah. Bo Star, what a guy, what a handsome gentleman, 1944 to 2026. And Bo, we will celebrate you along with Donald and Deborah and Bradford English, who plays John Strode in Curse of Michael Myers. I know we hate the character, but I think the performance is out of this world. Just some other folks that we've lost and everything in the franchise. So yeah, Bo Star, what a guy. What a guy. All right. Let's see what else we got here. Okay. What do we got? Cregger's Resident Evil. Are you guys ready for some Cregger's? I feel like Cregger, even though I'm saying Cregger's in a possessive way, Craig Kilborn would call himself Cregger's, and I just can't like not hear it when I say Cregger's. Cregger's. Okay, Kroger's maybe. Okay, so guys, do you want to take a look at have you guys seen the trailer? I was thinking we would watch the trailer, but watch it like super slow motion, see what we notice. Sometimes the studios hate it when I show the trailers. So I don't know. What do you guys want to do? Do you want to do trailer? I've got another article about how it's light on traditional zombies. We could we can definitely talk about that, but I'm just curious to know what you guys want to do. Me? No, I don't think so. Joe from Media Poop Shoot dropping a $5 super chat, says there's a video of Zach Cregger breaking down his vision and trailer. I'm kind of back to excited now for this RE entry. Thank you so much for the $5, Joe. Really appreciate you. Noah, I probably just seem that way because I only slept 2 hours or 2.5 hours, and I did that 10-hour stream. So I do feel like I am in another world right now. Let's see if I can, ramp up the energy here and not seem like such a. All right, so let's go ahead and check out the trailer, guys. F it, right? Let's just friggin', we'll do it live. Here we go. I'm gonna share that tab. We're gonna do a little bit of that and that. There we go. Oh, friggin' K. Here we are, guys. Have a sip of water. All right, guys. So Zach Cregger's next film is an adaptation of Resident Evil. He's promised something a little different that doesn't stick to the lore too much and all that kind of stuff. And we just got a teaser trailer that was released earlier this week. I want to take a look at that with you guys. I think I'm just going to play it in like quarter speed, no sound. We'll take a look at everything going on. Usually the studios like it better when I go about things that way. And it also allows me to, you know, do my thing where I just like talk and talk and talk during the trailer. So let's dive into that. We got some shots here. We can take a look at some of these still shots here in a second. But here we go. Let's just go ahead and jump into the article. This one comes to us by way of Alex DiVincenzo over at Bloody Disgusting. And the article says, Zach Cregger reinvents Resident Evil with a, quote, seriously fucked up situation in the official teaser trailer, which we invite you to watch down below. Austin Abrams from Weapons stars as Brian, a medical courier who unwittingly finds himself in a non-stop race for survival as one fateful, horrifying night collapses around him in chaos. Based on the iconic video game franchise, Resident Evil opens in theaters and IMAX on September 18th via Sony. The film is being billed as, quote, a thrilling and terrifying reinvention of the Resident Evil franchise from the mind of visionary filmmaker Zach Cregger. I think visionary is a little much to describe Zach Cregger, but I do think he's a very solid, good filmmaker. I struggle to see anything very gripping or unique about his style, but maybe I'm wrong. Let me know in the comments if you think I'm wrong. Let's go ahead and check out this trailer and see what we think, guys. I'm going to turn off the sound there. We're going to have a little fun with this one. We're going to go... we're gonna go 1/4 speed, guys. How about that? That'll be fun. That's the lowest we can go. And let's check out this trailer here and see what we can see. I'll give you my quick thoughts because I've watched the trailer. There are some shots in here where I was like, ooh, that does look like some of the cinematic elements of the games. Or seeing a flash of a creature and being like, sweet, I like that we're seeing a creature, some sort of warped, Lovecraftian kind of thing, But a lot of this trailer, I was like, this could just be a zombie movie of like whatever. So I hope that, I would imagine they're holding back on a lot of stuff. I really want it to have a Resident Evil stamp. And I think maybe in a full length trailer, we'll probably see a little bit more of that. So again, I'm not concerned and I'm not overly excited. I'm still I need to see more before I really start to care too much, honestly. So let's go ahead and check this out and see what we think. And I don't know what it is, guys. I really do enjoy watching trailers quarter speed. Especially like the Scream 7 trailer breakdowns. There was a lot of like really cool stuff to notice. So here we got, I would imagine this is Austin Abrams here as the medical courier. Very kind of Night of the Living Dead sort of thing here, as far as like the isolation, the farmhouse out in the middle of nowhere. Who knows if this is the very opening of the movie, or maybe there's a little prologue and we get into something like this after. Let's see here. Really dark in this shot, by the way, and I think I have the brightness pulled all the way up. Okay, there we go. Turn a light on. Love to see it. Gosh, are anybody noticing any Easter eggs? I think that's a big thing. If you catch an Easter egg, put it in the live chat or put it in the comments if you're watching after the fact, because I would imagine there's got to be stuff tucked away here. I think I saw there's a green plant in the background, so it must be the green herb. I don't know about that. There's green plants all over there's one on the right side of the screen there. The wall mounted phone is interesting. It makes me, they pull out, I think he has a cell phone later on that he's speaking to somebody with. So I guess it's not going to be a period piece. But I think that might have actually been kind of cool. In all honesty, guys, I am for like removing cell phones from horror movies. Like, don't even mention that they exist in a horror movie. Evil Dead 2013 handled it perfectly. You just you don't know what year it is, but there aren't cell phones. Because this has a look where you could say, oh, this is like late 80s, early 90s with like the clothes he's wearing and the phone on the wall, but I'm pretty sure we get an iPhone here pretty soon. It's like in Swingers where he's like nervous to talk to the girl or leave her a message, and he leaves her like 3 or 4 awkward messages. I can never get like Swingers. I've never finished that movie. I think I've turned it off twice. It just was like the anti-funny to me. So again, guys, this is a teaser trailer. We're watching quarter speed. I know we haven't gotten like too into it. Okay, what teaser trailer, but it's 2 minutes long. Okay. There really just isn't, you know, it is, I get it. They're setting the scene and everything. This is probably going to be the beginning of the movie. I totally understand it. You can see his hands. Looks like he's had to fight a little bit. He's got some sort of bruising or some sort of blood on his hands. So it looks like this character's already kind of been through it a little bit. I'm noticing this black sheep thing on the hat, kind of like an out of step thing from Minor Threat is what that reminds me of. Now, this is a really nice shot here. This doesn't remind me of the game or anything, but we are going to have some shots and I'll point those out. You know, as far as like something that looks kind of cinematic in a video game way. Obviously, he's being chased here by something, right? I mean, there's no other explanation for that. I suppose in Resident Evil, yeah, you got to sift through everything and you got to put together your, you got to find your ink ribbons and your friggin' herbs and your bullets and everything like that. Maybe a key card, something like that. This guy, he does look a lot different than he looked in Weapons. I'm actually like, when I watched the trailer, I was like, is this really the same guy from Weapons? But I mean, he plays a junkie in Weapons, so a little bit of a different look. So we have that first person there. I guess that's a little more modern Resident Evil kind of vibe, you know. He's got his cell phone there. So some of this stuff, like falling down into the sewer and everything like that, and it does start feeling like, okay, I am picking up that Resident Evil video game vibe, you know. I like the lighting here. I will say that. This guy, okay. So this seems to go by really quick in the trailer, and I know we get another look at him, but this is encouraging to see some sort of freaky deaky Resident Evil monster, you know? Big old fat zombie that's probably something else, probably gonna like split open and turn into some sort of creature. That's a big boy right there. That's a big boy. I think that's, yeah, there's something else going on. Like the article we're going to take a look at, guys, like these not your traditional zombies kind of thing. Now this thing here, like, I think this is kind of silly. Like looking, like, what is this? Like, let's take a look at that. It's just like, what? I mean, I know I just said like not every movie is going to scare you or whatever, but like, is that supposed to scare us? Like, I don't know. To me, I'm not sure. I don't know what's going on. Unless that is like a monster with people's like limbs coming off of it, but it doesn't make sense to me that there would be all these zombies like in this different, you know, coming out of the door in this different way just to like look cool. Like a zombie doesn't care about like that. You know, they're just going to rush the door and go spilling out. This has got a video game vibe right here. This is a, you know, very much video game cinematic kind of shot. I think there's one that's coming up in the... Oh, this looks interesting. So something sort of gnarly coming out. Maybe a little bit of like The Thing kind of vibe with the winter aspect and these crazy creatures. This looks like some sort of creature being like born out of something. Like that looks like that's going to be a pretty fucked up moment there in the movie. Little bit of a... what's it called? I Am Legend kind of vibe with just like the being alone in the city during this apocalypse kind of thing. I don't even know what the hell this is. Like, people are just falling, getting pushed from the roof. I don't even know what the hell that was. Come on, black screen. What you got for me? Resident Evil 4. That I always say 4 because that's my favorite one. So there it is. There's the Resident Evil 2-minute teaser. I don't know. Are we going to get another trailer for this movie? I guess we'll probably get a trailer that's maybe not longer, but like maybe cut with some different stuff. I really don't know. So written by Shay Hatton and Zach Cregger, of course, directed by Cregger as well. And it's going to be coming out September 18th, 2026. There we go. Okay. So guys, let me know what you think about that trailer, whether you're watching live or watching after the fact. I'm very curious to know what you think. To me, I mean, the movie technically looks really good. I think Zach is awesome at his movies look great. And the lighting and everything, I do like the blue lighting. And then there's some of that yellow, orangish kind of lighting, or like a gold kind of lighting. I do, everything looks really good. And I will say this, I said I was like completely in the middle. I'm encouraged to see some like kind of crazy monster sort of designs. And I like that they're hiding them. If they're really going to go that route, then I'm totally cool with what they're going to be doing here. But yeah, I'm going to go in with like pretty chill expectations because I was so hyped up for Weapons. The marketing made it look amazing. And so maybe some of, not issues that I had with the movie, but maybe I was a little deflated because I had such high expectations. So I'm just going to go into Resident Evil thinking, not many of the movies in the film franchise so far are really that great. We've got I like Apocalypse and I like Extinction. Like those are the two Resident Evil movies that stand out to me that we've gotten so far. And yeah, I mean, I think that this has the potential to be the best so far in the whole Resident Evil film franchise. So yeah, I'm looking forward to what they're going to do here. And let's check out this article from John Squires. The headline reads, Zach Cregger's Resident Evil goes heavy on T-virus mutants, light on traditional zombies. And I am A-okay with them rolling this way. Because yeah, we can do, they have zombies in Resident Evil, of course, but let's see some of these creatures. Let's kind of go for it. The article says the whole horror community is talking about Zach Cregger's Resident Evil this week in the wake of the teaser trailer being unleashed. And Cregger himself has offered up a slew of insights in a trailer breakdown video on IGN. I think that's what Joe was talking about. For starters, he revealed that his movie takes place during the events of Resident Evil 2, documenting the first night the T-virus broke out. Okay, so there we go. Now we've got some sort of map as to where we are in this franchise. So it's going to be happening congruently with the events of Resident Evil 2. Maybe we'll see, who knows? There might be little cameos to some of these, or not cameos, but little offshoots to check in on some of the greater story and then bring us back to our smaller story. Or who knows? You never know. Never know how they're going to, kind of work that in, or at least how they're going to work it into the final product. And speaking of the T-virus, Zach Cregger also reveals in his conversation with IGN this week that he's far more interested in mutated monsters than traditional Resident Evil zombies. Cregger explains, quote, "This movie doesn't utilize zombies that much. It's much more focused on the weird creature stuff than the zombies. There's really only 2 scenes, maybe 3, where there's proper zombie stuff going on. And those 2 of those 3, sorry, trying to read on 2.5 hours of sleep. And 2 of those 3 are in the trailer." Okay, well, I didn't even tell that we were getting just regular zombie stuff in the trailer. So there you are. Cregger continues by saying, "But other than that, I wouldn't call this a zombie movie. I just feel like you have this opportunity for the T-virus to do all these really fascinating things to the human body and to the world around you. And so just to limit it to zombies feels like a squandered opportunity. So I tried to really vary it up." All right. Vary it up. That's an interesting turn of phrase there. All right, I'll take it. Cregger also details 2 of the monstrosities featured in the teaser trailer, the bloated sewer monster scene in the still image above, and the multi-limbed beast in the doorway. Okay, so it is a multi-limbed beast. So that makes it way more interesting coming out of the door there. First up is the gigantic, naked, hairless man. Let's see what Zach has to say about this guy. Quote, "I really love the idea of you're moving through the sewer, no idea what's in front of you, and you come around a corner and see a gigantic, obese, naked, hairless man just sitting facing you. What's about to go down? What does go down, I'm pretty happy with. Part of the inspiration for the look of this guy comes from Blood Meridian. So this is just my little nod to one of my favorite books. I don't have a nemesis in the movie, a gigantic hulking Terminator that's following you, but this is also a bit of a nod to the nemesis. And as for the multi-limbed doorway creature, I love that name. Cregger says, quote, I don't want to give too much away of whatever it is that's coming out of the door, but I will say that there's a mechanic I've put into this movie. It might be in some of the games, but it's a way the infected interact with each other. It's something that pursues him throughout the movie. I'm really excited for how this creature changes and evolves. Okay, I love the idea of an amalgamation creature. I haven't played every single game in the series, guys, so I think I'm missing something on how he's talking about it might be in some of the games. I haven't played the games where I've seen any of that, but it does kind of remind me. I mean, we've seen it. You know, The Thing is very much like that. There's the amalgamation creature at the end of Evil Dead Rise that kind of has that vibe too. Just all the hellishness kind of coming together. So that could be really cool, and it could get bigger and crazier like as the movie goes, as you know, Zach kind of alludes to here. So yeah, really, really cool stuff. They got the trailer there again. We're not going to check that out, but there's that little creature, their version of the amalgamation or the limb creature. I'll just leave that up there. And yeah, I don't think I really have to say too much here after the fact, guys, because you know, I think we kind of dug into, you know, my feelings on, you know, how this all is shaping up. There we go. I think that looks a little bit better. Sorry, guys. But yeah, you know, I am feeling more encouraged, like, you know, kind of like Joe, like what you were saying, you know, you're back to excited now. I don't know if I'm excited, but I do feel like a lot better. It does seem at the beginning we weren't hearing much from Zach, and now it seems like, okay, he really does have a direction and he has like a vision, you know, for this story. So yeah, I don't know if I'm excited yet, but I'm definitely looking forward to seeing the movie. Like, I will check it out in the theater, keep an open mind, not let my expectations get too crazy. And who knows, you might see my out of theater reaction and I'm like, I was so wrong about Resident Evil. And I hope that that's the case, guys. I want all of these movies to be fucking kick-ass. Like, I don't want to see anyone fail, and I want us to have a good time when we go see the movie. So yeah, those are my thoughts on the Resident Evil teaser trailer, and then that little bit of an interview from IGN that Bloody Disgusting shared. So I'm curious to know what you guys think. Jump on into the comments. Let me know your thoughts down there. Let's get that conversation going. And having said that, I'm going to see what's going on in the live chat. Okay, guys, let's see what we got over here. Disagree with some of the creature designs because there's so many from the lore. Yeah. And maybe he wants to kind of create his own thing. I mean, and if this movie does well, Cregger's Resident Devil, there you go. If this one does well, there's going to be more of these, and maybe he just gets to produce and they get to bring in all that other stuff, you know. He said there's only 3 zombie scenes in the movie and 2 are in the trailer is embarrassing. Well, and what's really weird is like we don't really see straight up zombies in the trailer. So I guess he means like, oh, when he's running away from something, like, I don't know, maybe it's that. I don't know how we do it either, Steph. I'm trying. I know it seems like I'm totally ripped out of my mind, I guess, is what Noah is alluding to. I might as well get stoned then. How about it, right? Like, fuck it. Like, we might as well. Let's go. Never talk to strangers. Thank you, Nanette, for throwing that out. Yeah, thank you. You know, I've seen Near Dark once, and it was just like a month and a half ago, maybe something like that. I enjoyed it. Okay, what else do we got here? Double Toasted also talked about how Zach told him about the future of the franchise and he let it slip a little bit. I don't watch any sort of like spoilery. I'd stay away from all that stuff. But Sean, heck yeah. Whatever you guys want to watch, you guys can watch. I try to stay away from that stuff. Because I already just really, Sean, what it is because I cover the news and I watch the trailers. Like, oh man, there's quite a bit I see, you know. 69% speed would be very nice. Thank you, Theron. I'm sure it would. Let's see here. What do we got? Shannon, have a great night. Thank you so much. I know I need to go to sleep, but I actually have to have dinner before I go to sleep. Yep, we are still at 1500. No worries. We'll have the site up, you know, for a little while. Yeah, I mean, I like the creatures in there. I mean, it's cool when the zombies are just kind of filling the space in a movie like this because Resident Evil really is known for its creatures. So I think they could like highlight the highlight the creatures, but still have the zombies. I think you can have both, especially in Resident Evil, Let's see here. Somewhere there's a field and a river. Somewhere you can let your soul run free. Someday let this be the giver. Let this bring you peace. Somewhere there's a break in the weather. Somewhere you're hot. There you go. Thank you so much, Jiggy. I gotta sing anytime I think I can sing one of your chats. I'm gonna do it because you throw down so much love here on the channel. And holy cow, speaking of love, guys, we have reached our super chat goal, so we'll continue with the news and keep on hanging out. The goal was reached by, we got a $5 from Shannon, we got a $5 from Jiggy, $5 from Irish, $5 from Joe, and another $5 from Shannon. Thank you so much. Goal reached. Off to sleep, but you're still at 1,500. We will get that climbed up. I posted it on Twitter. I'll post it again on Insta, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about? Did you notice that, Foz? Yeah, I noticed that this time. Keep an eye out for the green herb in the background, but there's, green plants are everywhere. I think it might be reaching to say that it's the green herb in the background, but it's cute. I'm not going to be weird about it. It's cute. Because, yeah, it is as simple as just being a green plant. Brick Phone was a beast. Yeah. Let's see here. He lost weight. Yeah, because he's playing a junkie. Yeah, he looks a little more healthy. Yeah, in this movie. Hey, everybody's gonna get laid. All right, guys, let's see what we got for the next story here. Okay, I'm gonna skip ahead on the chat. Here we go. What do we have for our next story? Let's do Evil Dead. Let's talk some Evil Dead. So let me go back on over here. That's the right look. I don't know why I went to the other one. Terrible stuff, Davey. Guys, so we're going to take a look at something that was posted a few days ago, and then we're going to look at an image that was posted just the other day. This is not breaking Evil Dead news or anything, but I just figured, you guys know I'm a huge Evil Dead fan, and I'm so looking forward to this movie. So anything that comes out with Evil Dead, I want to talk about it. Whether or not you want to hear about it, that remains to be seen. So let me know by hitting the like button. Let me know by jumping in the comments, all that kind of fun stuff. And let's take a look at Evil Dead Burn releasing an official image here. So this is Alex DiVincenzo from Bloody Disgusting. Says first Evil Dead Burn image teases family reunion from hell. So here we go. This is our very first image that we've got here. And yeah, I mean, clearly the woman with like the purpley hair is the woman that we're following in that teaser trailer. And I think the gentleman on the right here, on our right, I think he is the one that gets like falls into frame and then sort of gets tugged out of frame. And clearly, I would imagine the two, the middle-aged lady and the older lady, I would imagine they are part of the whole thing as well. But it's not as like clear to see. This looks like they're outside. Let me see if I can open up the image. I'm going to do it in another tab. There we go. And we'll do that. And then that way you can just see the whole image there in its entirety. And yeah, it seems like they're outside here, right? They're looking at something completely fucked up in the street. And so whenever I see something like this, the way they're looking and the fact they're all outside, every Evil Dead movie kind of has that moment where it's like, it just got really real and you just had to throw a demon outside and it's probably like flailing and barfing and doing crazy shit like that. Or you've had to like cut off a limb, but it's still coming after you. We've seen these scenes in other Evil Dead movies. And when I see this image right here, that is exactly what it says to me, is this is when they realize the shit really has hit the fan. There's not something kind of funny going on or something kind of weird going on. This is like, they've had to get, a little dirty. You can see here on the gentleman's forehead on the left side of his brow, he's been cut up. Everyone else looks like healthy and unscathed, but it seems like, maybe somebody freaked out and he had to like do a little something. They dragged the body out. because yeah, they're here on the stoop on the porch. You can see some of the snowflakes there, you know, in the out of focus in the foreground and everything. So yeah, an image that doesn't really tell us too much like on its own, but then when you think about, you know, what these scenes usually mean in Evil Dead film, you know, we kind of know this is maybe I'm guessing this probably happens about 35 minutes into the movie, something like that, and then shit gets really out of hand after that. So that is my interpretation of what we're looking at here with this image. And let's see if they've got any new information from us here on this article, which says, following last week's teaser trailer, the first official image from Evil Dead Burn has arrived, courtesy of Screen Rant. Discover what's causing the looks of terror across the family members' faces when the film hits theaters on July 10th via New Line and Warner Brothers. The sixth installment in the horror franchise is directed by Sebastian Vanacek from a script he co-wrote with Florent Bernard. And yeah, they both wrote Infested together. Sebastian directed Infested. It's a really solid movie. Nothing that made me like freak out with excitement, but it is a very good movie, and I could absolutely see why Sam Raimi picked him for an Evil Dead film. So that was very apparent. And then just a quick synopsis here, guys. We're not going to read any more because we just kind of touch on this stuff every time we talk about this film. In the movie, after the loss of her husband, a woman seeks solace with her in-laws in their secluded family home. As one by one, they are transformed into deadites, turning the gathering into a family reunion from hell. She comes to discover that the vows she took in life live on, even in death. So maybe this is like her brother or something, this character on the right, and maybe it's that the husband has kind of come back. Maybe he's the one that they had to deal with, and that's what they're looking at in horror because they truly can't believe what the hell they're seeing. Seems plausible to me. Seems plausible to me quite a bit. And then let's see what else we got here for Evil Dead. We've got an image that possesses Lucianne Buchanan as a deadite. So we've got this image here. Now, I understand maybe some people are like, what the fuck? This is a spoiler, blah, blah, blah. Guys, this could be a hallucination. This could be a dream, a vision. And then we've also seen in the Evil Dead franchise, it is possible to come back. Now, we've only seen it with Bruce or, you know, with Ash and with Mia. So, but it is still possible, especially if the character ends up being like the hero of the piece, right? So I'm hoping that's the case here, that there's something else to this, that it's just not so obvious. I would really like to think if they're sharing this image with us, that it's either completely inconsequential that we know this information, or that it's not as it seems to be on its face value. So let's take a look at what they've got to say here. This is Alex DiVincenzo over at Bloody Disgusting, and it says, Lucianne Buchanan becomes a deadite in a new photo from Evil Dead Burn, courtesy of comicbook.com. And then really it just says the same thing that we just read on the other on the other page. So let's go ahead and open up this image so you guys can take a look at the whole thing. And there we go, from comicbook.com. The eyes are looking great. I mean, I got no complaints. Again, I am very much sensing an Evil Dead 2 kind of vibe here. This version does remind me a little bit of 2013 because the eyes have that little bit of yellow, but I think we saw in the trailer, guys, I think we do see some white eyes, like the cloudy whites like they have in the first two films, especially, and in Ash versus Evil Dead. So this is interesting because, yeah, it is, to me, it's got a little bit of that Evil Dead 2 vibe, definitely picking up on the Evil Dead 2013, especially with the eyes there. But there we are, just a couple shots from Evil Dead Burn that you know, don't really tell us anything, but allow us to kind of do some speculation here. So that's what we're looking at for Evil Dead Burn. I did want to just mention to you guys really quick, I usually don't cover physical media news here, you know, on the channel. There's so many great channels that do that already. But I did just want to put this up there just because we're talking about the Evil Dead. I'm not going to dive into the whole thing, but you know, there's a 45th anniversary of Evil Dead coming up. Technically, the film premiered on October 15th, 1981 in, I can't remember if it was like Pontiac, Michigan, I think. It was called The Book of the Dead. And then, you know, they got distribution. They changed the title. And really, the theatrical run didn't happen until April of 1983. But technically, October is the 45th anniversary, and we're getting a Steelbook 4K UHD. Love that shot of Cheryl. I fucking adore this makeup, and I will never not. But really quick, guys, I know there's other channels that they're gonna know more about this stuff and you know, get into the nitty gritty. But the article says The Evil Dead is commemorating its 45th anniversary with a Steelbook 4K Ultra HD and Blu-ray release on July 7th via Sony. Sam Raimi's grueling horror masterpiece is presented in 4K at a 1.331 aspect ratio with Dolby Vision HDR and 5.1 and 2-channel surround sound options. So guys, they're going to have an audio commentary. I'm not sure if it's a new one. I've listened to so many audio commentaries for Evil Dead. They're going to do a picture-in-picture talking about the undying legacy of the film, the untold saga of the film, stuff from the cutting room floor, all sorts, you know, makeup tests, all that kind of stuff. All the good stuff you can expect in the special features. And so, yeah, I just wanted to let you guys know, I think this is something that I'm going to pick up. And I don't pick up everything for physical media, guys. Really, like, for me, when it comes to picking up physical media, it's like, it's got to be like Jaws or Evil Dead. I'm a fucking sucker. Like, every now and then I just feel that calling. And it doesn't happen too often. Like, I think the most recent movies I've purchased were like Late Night with the Devil and Long Legs. I'm trying to think if there's another more Strange Darling is a movie I purchased. But I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it's like, I still need to get like When Evil Lurks and stuff like that. So I'm not the biggest physical media guy right now. But this is something I'm going to have to get because The Evil Dead from 1981 is a top 5 film for me. So that's the kind of weirdo I am. And I'm curious to know what you guys think of the Evil Dead burn pictures. I'll throw those up again really quick. So let me know what your thoughts are. Like, what's the family looking at here? What do you think just happened? And at what point of the movie do you think we're at? I mean, clearly we still have 4 characters that are alive. So it's got to be somewhere, I would imagine, in that first to early second act. And then we've got this shot here of the Deadite as well with the candle. Creepy look, not gonna lie. And it looks like they're in the Deadite mode where they're probably talking to and taunting somebody that's alive. So there you go, guys. There are those images. Let me know what you think of that. Let me know what you think of the, or if you're going to end up looking to purchase that Steelbook, or maybe you're just getting the Blu-ray, or maybe you think the first Evil Dead is just like, why do people care about this movie? Let me know down in the comments. We'll get that conversation going down there. And having said that, I'm going to go jump into the live chat and see what those guys are saying over there. All right, guys, what you got for me? What you got? Strange Darling is pretty damn good, yeah. I'm going to scroll scrubby up here. Baby, come back. You can blame it all on me. I was wrong, and I just can't live without you. Is that what you're doing, Aaron? Is that what that is? Let's see here. Oh, it is. It is the exact. Okay, cool. Well, that's pretty awesome. I like that. Okay, who do we got? My stomach is starting to the hunger, the bubbling of the hunger is going on. He has a quad first aid spray in his pack he's carrying. Yep. He's got to have that. A drunk demon? That's no good. Always making Caddyshack references. I don't know if it was somebody in the chat or if it was me, but yeah, I mean, Caddyshack and Fletch. Like, I mean, early Chevy. Yeah, for sure. No, it was Caddyshack. Yeah, you're talking Dangerfield. Yeah. Hey, we're all going to get laid. Yeah. I love when he clicks on the friggin' Journey. I don't really like Journey, but that song, Any Way You Want It, that's the, like, I dig that shit. How cool is Shelly up there just hanging out? Cheryl. Sorry, not Shelly. Cheryl. I'm blaming the weed there. That moment where you throw your sister in the basement. Hey, we've all been there. We've all been there, you know. Getting possessed, needing to get thrown in the basement and chained in. Nanette drops a $5 super chat. Thank you so very much, Nanette, and says, I heard they're going to tie in the TV show Do you think it could be possible? With Evil Dead, I absolutely think it's possible. Yes. I don't know if they're going to like, if it's just going to be Easter eggy because we've seen things in that trailer. They're definitely the same things from the show. It looks like it's Ruby's house from the TV show that they are in the film. Now, that could just be a cutesy coincidence. You know, we don't know if they're really going to be like out in front with that connection. Sometimes Easter eggs really are just Easter eggs, but man, I would not be surprised. I think all of these things are connected. You know, the book from the first 3 movies is the book from the TV show. They're all the same book, even though they technically look different. It's the same book. And then we got the Evil Dead 2013 book, and then we've got the volume from Evil Dead Rise. And so I think we're going back to the original book, Nanette. I think we're going back to Ash's book. And, you know, with everything coming out about Bruce, and let me know what you guys think about this. You know, with Bruce is fighting something right now. I would not be surprised if he wants to step back into the saddle for something pretty small, but something like, you know, how cool would it be to see Ash and Mia together with whoever this hero is? You could even have Beth in there. I mean, there are portals between space and time in the franchise already. Evil Dead 2 going to Army of Darkness. You know, those exist. So you could have a movie where seriously, like Ash, Mia, and Beth all like warp in like it's frigging Avengers Infinity War or Endgame or whatever. Like you could have that moment. Maybe it would be a little too hokey. And maybe I don't think doesn't necessarily mean that it would fit Evil Dead Burn, right? But I'm just saying that moment is possible within this franchise. And, you know, the first 3 Evil Dead movies, there's one that's a horror, one that's a horror comedy, and one that's a comedy horror. And then, of course, Evil Dead 2013, very serious, pretty dark. Evil Dead Rise, not quite as dark, but still as serious. So I like when Evil Dead is kind of like, I prefer the more serious, darker, grim, disgusting, pushing the line on gore version of Evil Dead, you know, over the comedic side. But I love the comedic side. I have nothing against it. Like Ash versus Evil Dead is very Evil Dead 2 tone. You know, it's got a very similar tone. And I love that. The first movie is my favorite, and the 2013 movie is my second favorite. So that explains that story. But yeah, Nanette, I absolutely think they could be connected. I would not be surprised. I would welcome it. You know, they've been really smart about setting all that up. So let's get wild with some Evil Dead. Let's have some fun. Yeah, there are so many. These guys are smart at what they're doing. Sam Raimi knows who he's, you know, when he's picking these young filmmakers or up and coming filmmakers, he's doing a great job, man. We saw it with the chick in Army of Darkness too. Oh, are you talking about the eyes? Is that what you're talking about? Not sure. Hopefully that's what you're talking. My brain is like totally fried. Yeah, Eli. Yeah, and I think she was just asking like if I think they're gonna bring the show into the whole thing. You know? Yeah. Army of Darkness is the only movie I've not seen in the Evil Dead franchise. Well, it's funny, man. It's funny. Like I know that you like comedies as well as horror, Carrie. It is pretty damn hilarious. I mean, Bruce is it's the cockiest and funniest Ash has ever been. He really, like the one-liners it's one-liner city, and they are all so good. Yeah, Army of Darkness is a lot of fun. Compared, like when I rank the series, it makes it seem like I don't like it because it's lower in the ranking, but it's just lower in the ranking because it's the most comedic and I like the more serious stuff better. But I love every movie in this franchise. There's none that I hate and none that I think are bad, you know? You're all good, Eli. Sorry, I didn't mean to correct you after you figured it out. I am just the friggin' worst, aren't I? We got KB from KB Loves Movies hanging out with us. How are you doing, KB? Dude, our Yankees not looking so bad. Not looking so bad. How about him? How about Belly getting as many hits and runs, or RBIs, sorry, as the Orioles today? Just by himself. I mean, what's going on here? Hope you're doing well, man. I hope the family is well. I hope 2026 is treating you awesomely. I want to know what the best movie you've seen this year is, or, you know, in your opinion, or even your favorite horror movie that you've seen so far. And are you going to watch Hokum if you haven't seen it yet, KB? I miss you, bud. Let's have another conversation. Let's get you on over here. Let's do something together. It's been way too long, and I've been bad at doing collabs lately, KB, for no other reason other than just being really busy and everything. So it's something I've been talking about on streams lately. Like, I really want to get back into that because I miss those. So let's have a chat in the back channels and put a little something together. Yeah, for sure. It totally does. Yeah. Man, that trailer's really good. That's one of the best, like, a trailer that has that kind of concept. I really dig that. Thank you for sharing that, Eli. Yeah, guys, KB from KB Loves Movies. Awesome channel. The smoothest voice. Just a guy that, you know, appreciates and loves film and brings other people on his channel that feel the same way and just kind of get into, like, everyone's own story, you know, like, kind of like, what's your story as a film fan, and how did that story evolve as you got older? Like, what led to this, what led to that? Like, very and the reason why I said have a conversation, he has a series called The Conversation, and it's all about that. So love KB's channel, love what he does, and we're both Yankees fans, so it's easier for me to love him. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not saying there's favoritism, I'm just saying it makes it a lot easier. It's like that line from High Fidelity, it's not what you're like, it's what you like that matters. And he says, call me shallow, but it's the fucking truth. And it's, you know, it's meant in jest, but it's like, at the same time, I kind of get it. When I was a teenager, I had some friends that maybe they weren't the nicest guys, but, you know, we listened to the same music and we liked the same movies, so it was easy to hang out, you know. I'm not saying that KB is not the nicest guy. I'm talking about being in high school. KB's the sweetest guy. Go Yankees. Let's see here. Devil Wears Prada, but the sinner wears Gucci. I've never heard that one. I did that Devil Wears Prada movie. I actually like that first one. How are you doing, Prince? Welcome on in. The conversation returns on the 11th. There you go, guys. Go subscribe to KB Loves Movies. That is the 11th, Monday. That is Monday the 11th. There you go. That's a week before my birthday. Exactly a week. How about it? All right. What else do we have here? Strange Darling being a masterpiece. Yes, yes. We are on the same board, or same level there. I have never seen that one, David. David's got an old school film fan heart right there. Me too, Eli. I'm stuck in that spot. I'm stuck in that spot on this one. It's non-negotiable when it comes to Evil Dead. Like, I have to, you know, I have to. I'd like to hear Davey singing some old school punk. Yeah, what do you have in mind, Eli? What do you have in mind? Let me know. Name a band or even name a song if you'd like. I like me some old school punk. Guys, I'm not trying to fat boys. I'm not trying to skip anyone's chats or anything. If I miss something, feel free to put it back in. I just know I'm behind after catching up. And really, guys, I don't think the next item that we have is oh wait, I have Pitfall here. Do we really need to talk about Pitfall? I don't even know what to think of. Have you guys seen this trailer? I have not seen this trailer. Is that what this is? Do we actually get a trailer? We do. Do you guys want to watch the Pitfall trailer with me? I've never seen it before. I swear to F. I swear to F, I've never seen this before, guys. But they're promising Friday the 13th meets 127 hours. I think that's kind of a bold statement, and I am curious. I don't know. Has anyone in the chat played the game Pitfall? The original, not the Mayan adventure from the Super Nintendo and the Genesis, but we're talking the original Atari game from Activision. Has anyone played that one? Nathan jumping on in. Holy cow, Nathan, we get to see our guy. Nathan, you have a fantastic beard, brother. Fantastic. Way to go. You should be proud. I'm proud of you. And Nathan says, I'm cautiously optimistic about Evil Dead Burns, but that candle shot looks spicy. Amusingly, the contacts have me considering ideas for a short story about a 2,000-year-old vampire who teams up with the devil. I've always thought about that relationship between the devil and a vampire. I know this has nothing to do with what we're talking about, but I've wondered about that because, so what is the hierarchy there? Because if a vampire is a demon, but a vampire doesn't have a soul, that to me kind of means that the devil doesn't really have jurisdiction. Like, they can fight and everything, but the devil doesn't have, like, there's no soul there. So does the devil have the soul already? Is there no soul to be had? Is the soul just gone because this is now a demon? Does the devil control every demon, or vampires, sentient creatures? Like, what is that hierarchy? And the reason why I bring it up here with you guys is if you've ever seen the Ready or Not movies, you see that, like, after the second Ready or Not movie, there's been a huge balance shift. Now, if you've seen Abigail, and that it's all done by Radio Silence has actually confirmed in interviews that the two movies, or the three movies, all take place in the same world. So what if after Ready or Not 2, with this rebalance being set, and I won't describe exactly what that means. I don't want to spoil it for anyone that hasn't seen it. It's not nearly as good as the first film, but there's a rebalance. And then I'm sitting there thinking, man, what if after the rebalance, like, the next move is the vampires come in? Because they don't have souls. They want the power of that ring. Like, they want this new deal with the devil. I don't know. I just thought that was fascinating. Anyways, Nathan, there you go. No one ever asked for it, but there's a 3-minute or 4-minute response to something you told me in a live chat. So there you go. And hey, man, if you want to use any of that, use it. You don't have to, though. We got Ryan Underwood in the chat, one of our great channel members. What's happening, Piss Stofferson? How are you doing, Ryan? Great to see you, man. Thanks for hanging out. Let's see here. It's true. He does. Yeah, no, I love the transformation of Ash between all the movies and everything like that. Miss Pitfall at Panic Fest. Heard it was meh. Pitfall sounds intriguing. Should we watch it, guys? You guys want to check that out? Yeah, he falls into like... well, that happens in the NES Super Pitfall, but in the original Pitfall, you swing on ropes and do the Tarzan yell in perfect Atari sound quality. And you can jump on alligators' mouths and stuff like that. And you're just collecting gold and running around. It's just a silly movie. Okay, let's check out this trailer, guys. Let's check it out together. And we'll see if it's meh. Or we'll see if I think it's going to be meh. Let me stop that music there. I guess I could have kept it going, but whatever. I'll just read this here. If the fall doesn't kill you, he will. After playing on the film festival circuit to acclaim, not according to KB, it wasn't acclaimed, gory survival horror movie Pitfall is coming to theaters nationwide on May 29th, 2026, and Bloody Disgusting is premiering the very first exclusive look at the official theatrical trailer. Based on a story by director James Kondalik and a screenplay by Canadian writer Victor Rose, Pitfall made its debut at Los Angeles Screamfest Film Festival in October 2025, earning praise from critics who said it was, quote, one of the major highlights of the festival's 25th year. The film was produced by Wai Sun Chang and Alex Bogolimov for Vancouver-based production Panda Pix Pictures in partnership with Dragon Bear Pictures. Okay, excuse me, guys. I need a sip of water. In Pitfall, a young man becomes separated from his friends in the woods and plunges into a 10-foot pit lined with spikes. So that's what you guys are talking about in the chat there. Impaling his leg and leaving him helpless. As reality sinks in and his situation grows dire, he realizes the fall wasn't an accident. So let's go ahead and check this dang thing out. There we go. All right. I'm going to bring down the volume a little bit because I feel like it just gets so loud through the dealy bob. All right, here we go, guys. This is the Pitfall trailer. Let's check it out.
Beautiful, huh? No stress. Just calm.
Fun fact, over the last decade, over 2,000 people have gone missing.
Super fun fact. Yeah, let's talk about that.
Scared of the woods?
Ooh.
It's a Pitfall.
We have a title, ladies and gentlemen. Was this the same font from Resident Evil?
Shouldn't be here. You're not allowed to hunt in this area.
Well, that sucks.
Where's Scott? Should have been back by now.
We're gonna find him.
Yeah. The Ring. Wait, was that Rob Zombie? Who was that? Oh, Robin Hood. Okay.
Watch your head.
Robin Hood Zombie.
He's watching us.
Help me!
So they turned this into a slasher? Interesting.
Run!
The pit will. Okay.
Hell of a weekend, huh?
Oh, it's our guy. It's our guy from Final Destination, Bloodlines. Okay, so I'm gonna mute it and then we'll just like play that back. I muted it. Come on, guys. And then I'll throw that music back on for us. Yeah, this doesn't look too like, you know, this nothing about this looks special. Unfortunately. It looks like, yeah, like they're taking elements from the video game, but it very much feels like In a Violent Nature to me, the way that they're portraying like our killer. Now he is not wearing like the big old fireman mask or whatever, the old school fireman mask, but there's just something about it that feels a little In a Violent Nature-esque. And yeah, it's odd. Like the original Pitfall game, you're just running around like collecting gold and stuff. There's not, as far as I can remember, there's not like a man hunting you, you know, like a crazy Rambo in the woods hunting you. So, you know, that's a totally different element. And yeah, this looks like it does look like a slasher. I get why they're saying 127 hours because the guy's stuck. And of course, Friday the 13th, because this is our, you know, de facto Jason here. I don't know. This seems like it'll be like kind of fun to watch with friends and laugh a little at, you know. I don't know if it's quite going to land in like a serious sort of way. But maybe, you never know. You never know. It looks good enough to give a watch, you know, like Pitfall is one of the first games I ever remember playing, guys, like, you know, as a child. So I might as well watch the movie called Pitfall and see how it is. But yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think? I know some of you guys have probably already seen this one. It came out a couple days ago and, you know, we're just a little bit behind on it just with everything else going on the channel. But yeah, I think this just looks like kind of okay, but I have the AMC A-list, so I probably will go see it. Curious to know what you guys think. If you had the opportunity to see it at a festival, you know, please let us know what you think down in the comments. Keep it spoiler free, you know, just because it's not out yet, but let us know if you like the movie or not. I'd be interested to know. And yeah, having said that, let's go ahead and jump on back over to the live audience. Okay, guys, there we go. Man, the tired is really hitting me. I am like, whew. Yeah, 10-hour stream yesterday, 10 hours, 20 minutes or whatever. And then I've only got 2.5 hours of sleep or something like that. Well, they're using the font is like the same thing though, Sean. I'm pretty sure, like, yeah, I understand they've created like their own like world or whatever for it. But the font looks very similar to the font that they used on the Mayan Adventure game. I mean, it's red and everything, but it just, yeah, I figured it's got to be the same thing. I don't know. I could be wrong. One of you guys check. Well, no, Pitfall Harry is the name of the character for sure. So Pitfall is the name of the game, the Activision game. It's like green. It's got the image of the dude jumping on the alligator heads, and then on the Nintendo they called it Super Pitfall, and it's a different version of Pitfall Harry. There's all the spikes and everything like that, of course. But yeah, and maybe there was a game called Pitfall Harry, but I know the original game is just called Pitfall. Contra's great. Yeah, Contra is great, dude. Noah. Yeah. Not only is Operation Ivy top tier 80s punk, it's top tier 80s ska. It's just top tier 80s music. I mean, Energy by Operation Ivy is one of the greatest records of all time. So, yeah, I'll take all the Op Ivy you got. I've been listening to those guys since 1994. I was, you know, I was in second grade when they broke up in 1989, and then I found them 5 years after. Changed my life, man. I didn't even know what ska was when I heard Operation Ivy. I was like, he's rapping, but it's punk music. I had no idea what ska was. Oh, very much so. Yeah, Aaron, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Look at that. Nathan Thornwood dropping a $10 super chat. Thank you so much, Nathan. Says, Stan Lee once said in an interview that whenever someone asks who he think would win in a fight, insert comic characters here, he always replies, whoever the writers want to win. Yeah, exactly. It's like Freddy versus Jason. They both win. You know? I mean, that's the way to do it, is like leave it ambiguous and let the fans continue the, not argument, but like the debate and the discussion. And Nathan drops another $5 super chat. Nathan, thank you so very much. Says, so the hierarchy between the devil and a vampire could be whatever the writer wants it to be. Exactly. Because the soul is this thing that, like, when the vampire gives up their soul to become a vampire, I don't necessarily think of that as a deal with the devil, because another vampire is turning them into a vampire. So if anything, it's like the person that turns you into their fledgling or whatever. It's almost like, if anything, that would be the person that would have like your soul, as you know, as a vampire, or would like possess any sort of control over you. So I do think the dynamic would be really interesting between Satan and a vampire, especially, yeah, like you're saying, 2,000-year-old, like a vampire that's like done the do for quite a while. Yeah, he's very charming, man. He's a really good actor. I like that guy. It doesn't have anything. Why do they call it Pitfall, and why do they bring in elements from the video game, and why do they use a font that looks similar? I'm trying to not be angry about silly things, but I kind of hate that now. Like, I'm honestly, like, here, I'll say this. If it really does have zero connection to the Activision game, I have no interest in watching it. That's how hardline Davey Deathray is going to be. I will not watch this movie. If that's truly the case, I'll look it up after. We're not going to dig into it now. I'm taking your word for it now, but I'm curious to dig in and just make sure. But seriously, if it is not, if it has nothing to do with the game, then I want nothing to do with it. That's what I'll say. I remember playing Contra when I was young. Oh, I still play Contra. I have it on my Switch. I have that Contra collection. It has a whole bunch of the games from various systems. I love Contra to death. A Contra movie would be really cool. I don't know if they would have the guts to really do it. But yeah, this is the case of a movie being tied to the game in name only. It's so stupid. I'm like getting, my piss is starting to boil. In fact, I might do a funny, you know how I did my editorial, little, what even was the the mummy being connected to Evil Dead, that whole funny comedic editorial. I might have to do one about this fucking Pitfall movie. Because I'm not angry, but I am perturbed, and I'm hungry right now. So I'm like hangry perturbed. You know what I mean? Yeah, I mean, I guess if they're all over the jungle, I get it. It's going to be tough, but yeah. Robert in the Hood zombie, yeah. Let me guess, Rob Zombie stomping in some big boots, and he's going, yeah, a whole bunch. Yeah. Dude, let's be honest. Nothing against Rob. Let's be honest about the music. It's dance music. Let's just be honest. There's nothing wrong with that. But we need to live in a world where we can speak freely and say, yes, Rob Zombie makes brutally intense graphic films. His music, however, is dance music. It's okay. Those two things can exist in this world. In fact, they actually do exist. It's just whether or not you're willing to admit it. And I'm just here to walk you to the truth that the Rob Zombie music, even the White Zombie stuff, is dance music. You make me feel like dancing. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's not a criticism. I'm just saying it is what it is. Yeah, these friggin' clickbaiters. Dude, I've seen some stuff, and it just breaks my heart because they're just wasting our time. That's all. And it sucks. Sometimes we fall for it or whatever. Like, it just sucks, you know? Better way to answer to how somebody falls into spikes, they lost at Mortal Kombat. Yeah, if you lost in the pit, like, that's it. We're just going to uppercut you right down in there. I think the Final Destination was inspired by the classic Twilight Zone episode 22 because at the end of the episode, there's a scene where a plane explodes. And I don't know if that is... It's possible that that's the truth, Slasher Fred. I do know that Final Destination was written as a spec script for an episode of X-Files. That's how Final Destination started. It was going to just be a one-off episode on X-Files, and then it just sort of turned into something that could be more, and then it slowly morphed into a full-length movie. I'm wondering whether I'd rather it be what the trailer's advertising, or whether it'd rather be a 90-minute live-action adaptation of some dude trying to swing across traps. Well, I think they can, you can mix the two things, right? You can make it about, there is that treasure hunter kind of aspect. They could have made it a really intimate movie where it's, one or two people out in the woods and then they end up getting chased. I know there's maybe not much action, but you really could have like some intense chase scenes there. But I still think with what the trailer showed, it still could be connected to the video game. It just seems so funny to me that you're using this title and all this really is like a man hunts man movie, right? I don't know. If they make a Contra movie, it might be controversial. Yeah. Oh, it would be. They would have to do what they did in, I think in Europe, they released it. They called it Probotector. And instead of, the soldiers and everything's a robot. Like everything you're shooting. And I think even the guys I think you're a robot as well. Or maybe it's just that you're a robot and however way they tried to make it seem like it wasn't so bad because it wasn't like people doing the shooting or getting shot. Yeah. Why does it matter? Why do we have to have a movie that's just like a game or even anything like the game? I'm going to say something where books people love games and then the other people like movies and some people like 2 or 3 of them. Yeah. So it's true. Sometimes it works it's okay that if a movie doesn't follow the game exactly. And the reason why with like Resident Evil, why I think it would be cool to see that is because they really never have followed the games too closely. They use some of the characters and some of the scenarios and stuff, but they kind of make up their own stories with Resident Evil. So just in that specific instance, when Cregger signed up for it and he was like, hey, it's not really going to adhere too much to the lore, I was bummed out because I was like, well, I actually want to see that because we haven't seen it yet. So, and it just like, back in the day when they would make those video game adaptations, they were so different than the games. And so I think that's another thing. The old Super Mario Brothers movie, the Double Dragon movie, what other ones? There's got to be another one that I'm just totally missing, but I'm talking like early 80s, 90s kind of days. They were just so off the mark. And so I guess there's part of me that just, would really like that, but of course it doesn't always have to be that way. Yeah. Oh yeah. I think that and Predator. Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's very much Predator setting, especially at the beginning. Yeah. We need an Indiana Jones type movie that's not what the newest 2 Indiana Jones movies are. Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing they could do with like a Tomb Raider thing. You could have an Indiana Jones kind of feel. I'm trying to think if there's a movie. Gosh, I could have sworn I've seen something that's so. Oh no, Indiana Jones is pretty unique as far as like, you got the archaeological kind of connection and everything. Yeah, the last 2 were not very good. I mean, the last one was a fucking mess. Like, it was just a mess. Like, why are you bringing back Harrison Ford and then you're just going to do that with him? Like, please stop. Please don't ever do that again. That's really uncool. Just stop. Metroid, but Sigourney Weaver under the suit. There you go. Metroid, but it's Sydney Sweeney under the suit. How about that? Dude, Sydney Sweeney as Samus. Come on. Like, that movie writes itself. Yeah, that game is awesome. That movie is so bad, it's actually kind of good. House of the Dead 2 movies, and both were met. Yeah, I mean, no. When they mentioned George Romero in the first movie, one of them's like, Romero, the Godfather. I was like, dude, you don't get to say George's name in this movie. How dare you? I mean, I wasn't really like that, but I was kind of like that. Wasn't like that, kind of like that. First Silent Hill was really good. I just don't remember if I watched the second. Yeah, and the video game adaptation certainly got better as the years went on. But it was really weird with, that Mario Brothers movie, the Double Dragon movie. I swear there was another one. I'm just like brain farting right now, guys. I don't know. Maybe Piz can help us out. Welcome on in, Piz. Hope you are doing well, man. Great to see you. I hope 2026 has been treating you really well. It's been a really busy, kind of crazy last month or whatever, but the last few days have been absolutely incredible. And yeah, I'm feeling good about a lot, and feeling very grateful, feeling a lot of gratitude for like the good people in my life and just appreciation for everything. We just did a 10-hour marathon charity stream for a local food bank in my city yesterday, and it went awesomely. Everyone was amazing with their generosity and everything. So, and then crazy enough, Piz, like I know you've already seen the news about Bo Starr, but yesterday on the stream, we watched the first 5 Michael Myers Halloween movies. And so we watched Halloween 4 and Halloween 5. And then here we are, today finding out the news, that last week he had passed. So, I hope you're doing well. And yeah, man, thanks for stopping in. Thanks for hanging out. Let's see what else we got going on here. Slasher Fred says, I think the Indiana Jones was inspired from a 1950s movie called Secret of the Incas, because in that movie, the main character also wears a leather jacket and fedora. Yeah, George Lucas was always very open about, that these were, he watched these serials. So it's like Star Wars was like the Flash Gordon. And then, yeah, it sounds like this one that you're talking about, Secret of the Incas, or something very similar to it, was the inspiration for the Indiana Jones, like the adventuring doctor, you know what I mean? And there is something pretty special. I was okay. This is the movie that it reminded me of, or these movies aren't that recent anymore, and they're not nearly as good as Indiana Jones. I'm not saying that, but National Treasure, kind of like Indiana Jones, but in a in an 2000s Disney kind of way, like Pirates of the Caribbean meets Indiana Jones is sort of like a vibe they got going there. But yeah, Aaron, like you were saying, it would be great, like to have something kind of fresh that feels like that. It's have something swashbuckling, something really fun. It's just such a relief when you see, like, I love seeing things that seem kind of like old school, but old school in such a, like, this is just good old fashioned storytelling kind of way. Like a movie like Cold Storage wasn't like it didn't like blow my mind, but it was pretty cool to just be like, I'll probably only watch this movie once, and it was fun for the one time I watched it. Like that's okay. Like not every movie is going to leave some sort of lasting impact, or maybe it takes years for that lasting impact to to come to light. But yeah, we need some more fun movies. Speaking of fun movies, Queens of the Dead. I don't know if any of you guys have seen it. I slept on it because it released for like a weekend here in Phoenix, and it was all the way across town. It's like an hour. I don't know if you guys have ever been to Phoenix, but shit, man, like just to hang out with a friend, I have to drive like an hour pretty much. It's just a very spread out city. So I missed Queens of the Dead in the theater. It's an IFC film, so independent, super small run. Just watched it like a few weeks ago in our Discord server. All of us were blown away. Like, I don't think anyone had a bad time watching that movie. Tina Romero, George Romero's daughter, co-wrote it and directed it. For a first movie, I was so impressed. It was really funny, well-drawn characters. When you read the synopsis, it's like basically like the zombie apocalypse, shit hits the fan while these people are trying to prepare for a drag show at a bar. But man, the characters are all so like really well drawn, really complex, like very layered and textured. I was just so pleasantly surprised for a silly zombie movie that's like kind of a comedy. I had a lot of fun with Queens of the Dead. Yeah, it is. And you know what's even weirder is we were just watching Fletch in the Discord, Piz, and he's got a little bit there in Fletch, one of my favorite movies. And it is just this weird like within the last 2 days within the last 2 days, I've seen 3 Bow-Star movies. And it's just like, I guess, you know, you just never know, or it's just some weird kind of coincidence. But yeah, 81 years old, what a career, you know, got to play professional football before becoming an actor. I love Sheriff Meeker. You know, I think Sheriff Meeker's awesome. He's such a strong, you know, take charge kind of guy, especially in Halloween 4. And yeah, RIP to our guy Bow-Star, the handsome son of a gun. There you go. Romancing the Stone, Jewel of the Nile. Yeah. Yeah. And even though it's not, yeah, you know, Guardians of the Galaxy, there's a Star Wars element. I think there's a little bit of that Indiana Jones element, just with the way like Chris Pratt his kind of sensibilities as a performer. So, you know, not that the movies really remind me of the movies, but there's a little something of his character that reminds me of that. That new Night of the Living Dead sure looks swell. Oh my gosh, dude. That's a heartbreaker, right? Just think, whenever I think about what George Romero's legacy could have been like if they just put the fucking copyright, excuse my language, put the copyright on the movie, and who knows, maybe the movie wouldn't have done as well because it wasn't free. But man, it is like, you think about the dynamic shift for Romero's career if he were able to make money off that movie, off the original release. You know, they were able to remake it and make money off the Savini version and everything like that. But man, you think like the Day of the Dead. I have that original Day of the Dead script, Piz, and it's like it would have cost $7 million to make. He wanted to make it unrated. They cut it down to $3 million. Well, if their copyright was on Night of the Living Dead. So yeah, we live in this world where nothing against anyone that made this movie. Making a movie has got to be so incredibly difficult. I've never done it. I haven't even played a part other than being a financial, you know, contributor, you know, through a crowdfunding or something. And it's got to be very difficult. So no shade to those people, but we see these come up, right? You know, sometimes they have actors in them that we really love and they're just so low quality and so, you know, just like, why did we do this kind of thing? And I guess you do it maybe as a calling card or whatever. It's just crazy to me that they always look so cheap and they don't look like there's much care put to them. It would be incredible if somebody really did like an awesome, like, I don't know, Tarantino, just go ahead and do a remake of Night of the Living Dead. Why not? It won't even count as your last film because it's public domain. Yeah. Spit once and get a shotgun kind of cop. Oh, and letting Brady have it. Like, if I ever catch you groping my daughter again, I'm going to use that shotgun on you. King Solomon's Mines and Alan Quartermain. Quatermain. Is it Quatermass? Oh my gosh. Now I am so lost. I thought it was Quatermass. Quartermain. That's why I call it Quartermass instead of Quatermass. I think my head just blew up, Aaron, but I'm going to try to read the rest of your little chat here. And the Lost City of Gold are pretty much Indiana Jones. Okay, gotcha. Yeah. Oh, those are very much. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Very. Yeah, if you give a guy a whip and a fedora, like, you know, it's going to feel like Indiana Jones. I mean, even like one of my favorite video game series, well, my favorite video game series of all time, Castlevania, the idea of giving Simon Belmont the whip in the original Castlevania game was inspired by Indiana Jones. It wasn't decided going into it. So, you know, Indiana, man, he's got that influence. Indiana Jones is no Alan Quartermain. Let's be real here. Sean G throwing down the real business. All right, Sean, Aaron, sounds like you guys are going to have to step outside and settle some business here. I helped crowdfund a horror slasher once. Not going to say the name, but the experience taught me to never do it again. Well, I'm so sorry that you had that experience. I've had a good experience when I've contributed. I contributed to It's Me, Billy Chapter 2 with, you know, Dave McRae and Bruce Dale. I've contributed to some of the Womp Stomp stuff. I believe it was Never Hike Alone 2. And contributed to Dylan's New Nightmare. He's now my buddy, Cecil Laird from the horror show, but I didn't know Cecil when when the movie, like when I saw the movie and got into it and everything. Yeah. I purchased a copy of that Crow fan film that just came out, The Days of Sodom. So, you know, just purchased a copy on Blu-ray. So it's a $15, you know, contribution. Nothing too crazy. Oh, yeah. And he just had that look, you know, like that Gary Cooper kind of, there's just something just old school. I don't know. He's just got that. Nothing. And Sheriff Brackett is totally fine. R.I.P. Charles Cyphers. I think Cyphers is an awesome actor and everything. But I do think there's something a bit more. Meeker's got that classic kind of like he looks like he is the protector, and he's a good cop, and he's got the look. He's got the look. Yes, Jiggy, thank you for reminding everyone. Guys, hit that like button. Because you guys reached the super chat goal that we had earlier, we're going to hang out for another 15 minutes or so. And then I'm going to go grab some dinner. So don't hate on me for that. But you guys have been amazing. This has been so awesome. I do want to let you know that, you know, because we have so many great people across the pond in the UK, I am going to be live tomorrow in like 14 hours pretty much. So I always try to make sure to do one of those streams for our UK folks. I love hanging out with you guys. I don't want anyone to ever feel left out. And I want this community to grow. So let's, if you're somewhere else in the world and you're like, why are you never live when I can watch? Jump into the comments. Let me know, you know, where you're at and when you're at, and we'll try to do a little something for you. Because I'm a night owl, so I could go live at like 2 a.m. my time. I don't give a fuck, you know. I think you really have to get a feel for the crowdfunder. There are some people who might bite off more than they can chew with that stuff. Well, certainly there are, yeah, as people go and everything. Like, you know, one thing I'll say about Vincent DeSanti of Womp Stomp Films is, you know, he has proven himself so many times as like, you know, this guy puts together a great product, whether or not it's a Never Hike Alone, if it's something original, if it's another person's project that he sees something in and wants to help usher through, you know. Yeah, there's definitely credit that's built up just like anything else for sure. So yeah, I think when you go to contribute to, you know, to those crowdfunding campaigns, you know, whatever kind of research you want to do to make sure that you think, you know, that your money's going to a reputable place and to where that what's being promised is actually going to be delivered. It's huge. It is totally huge because it can bite you in the butt. Absolutely. I don't like cookies. Can I have a piece of cake or brownie? Oh my gosh. Nanette, are you talking about food on purpose because I'm hungry? Are you trying to be mean? I'm just joking. I'm just joking. I know you're not trying to be mean. I would love a brownie right now if someone has one. Can someone just like bing, put it right in my hand there? That'd be great. Didn't even know it was Roxette, but yeah, I was singing that song. I am an 80s kid, so there's certain things that are just like in the head, you know. Eli Cortez, just letting you guys know that you rock. And guys, you do. Thank you so much. All the channel members, all the Patreon members, the Death Squad mods. Eli and Jamie have been like carrying a big brunt of making sure that everything is running smooth here. And everything usually runs pretty damn smooth. So you guys are amazing. I think the Death Squad is just an amazing group. And honestly, guys, the group that we have, like our horror, you know, our corner of the YouTube community, just the greater horror YouTube community is one of the best out there. And I'm so happy to be doing what I'm doing. And I want you guys to know, like, sometimes on here, I can be a pretty accentuated version of myself. And, you know, there's a certain amount of performance to everything, but there is, you know, you are getting the genuine article. And you're maybe just getting a little bit more of a souped up sassy version of the genuine article. But I do want you guys to know that, like, I just appreciate every bit that you do for the channel. You know, from being channel members to just showing up and hitting the like button and contributing in the chat. Like, all of that stuff is amazing. And I don't ever expect anything to ever be given to me. I want to work for everything that we have here as a community and as the channel. And I'm just so pumped to be hanging out with you guys. So damn pumped. Weren't you just at 2.91 subs a week ago? Did a series kudos on the group? You know, I had a couple videos that went, they actually went pretty well. I was kind of surprised. And so, yeah, we had a little bit of a dip at the beginning of April, and then we came back pretty strong. So you know, it's all relative, Nathan. And I always try, like I say here, I compete with myself. So it's all relative. I try not to get wrapped up in numbers, because really, like, to me, it's the interaction with you guys that I want. I figure it's kind of like, if you build it, they will come, is sort of how I feel about it. And maybe I'm wrong in that. Maybe I need to pay attention more to the numbers. But I'm just like, well, I know that the more I go live is the bigger this community gets. And the more people see that we've got something really special here. And it's not just what's going on this side. It's you guys in the chat and just the community at large. So yeah, right now we're at 2,938. So I would like to hit 3,000 subs by my birthday. That's the 18th of May. I think we can do that, guys. And I know that I've got to put in work. So it's nothing that I'm putting on your guys' shoulders. But it took us a little over a year. It took us 13 months to get from 1,000 to 2,000. But that was in November. So in almost it's been not even 6 months that we've almost gotten to that next mile marker of 3,000, which I think is such a, you know, just such a motivational thing for the channel, you know, for everyone. So thank you for sharing, Womp Stomp. Yeah, man, they just hit 100,000 subs not too long ago. If you guys have not seen the Never Hike Alone movies, I advise you check them out. And if you like those, then jump on in and see, you know, what other projects they have going on right now that you could help fund. Vin is a guy. So really quick, I'm going to get to your message, Nathan, but I want everyone to know I met Vin the same day that I met Cecil from the Horror Show channel. I was just going to interview Cecil about Dylan's new nightmare. And Cecil was like, hey, Vin's going to be there. And I almost pissed my pants because I was like, I love Vin's work so much. And I was like, oh my God, I'm already nervous enough. It was at the very beginning of my YouTube journey. So like talking and all that stuff, no big deal. Interviewing somebody that made like the greatest fan film I've ever seen in my life, it was a little intimidating, you know, when somebody is just so successful, and Vin's very charismatic and everything too. And he's very friendly, but it's still intimidating. And Cecil's very friendly too, but it's still intimidating. Also, I'm 6 feet tall and these guys make me feel tiny. If Piz is still in the chat too, when I walked by Piz at H45 and I put my hand on his shoulder and I said, I really love what you do, man. I was like, oh my God, I feel so small. So people are so tall. I'm not used to seeing people that are that much taller than me. So anyways, Vin, amazing guy. I just, his work ethic is inspirational. His knowledge and his passion, like all of those things are things that like motivate me and make me think like, what else could I be doing more? Or what can I do to contribute to what some of my buddies have going on and all that stuff. So, I don't really know why I got on that whole thing, but I just wanted to let you guys know. Check out Womp Stomp. I think Vin is just one of the most stellar dudes that I've met since I've started doing this whole thing. Nathan says, my wife and I watched a compilation of all the one-hit wonders from the 70s to last year. We were both gobsmacked by how little music we recognized from the last 10 years. Yeah, I definitely think that's something that just the older you, like, I stopped paying attention. I'm going to be 44 here in a couple weeks, and like I am so incredibly out of touch when it comes to like pop music. I really am. You know, the newer bands that I know are going to be bands that are still kind of doing the stuff that I like, which is like pop punky, skate punky, garage rock, maybe some sort of power pop kind of thing, you know, like the Beths, or there's this band that I've been listening to called the Games We Play. But yeah, like as far as like current like pop music and like hits go, oh my gosh, I would be very lost, Nathan. So yeah. People mention artists to me and I'm just like, I don't think I know who that is. And they're like, what? And I'm like, yeah, I don't have any kids. And I was never really like that much into pop music. And I think that's the big thing is for us people that don't have kids. I'm not making that assumption about you, Nathan. I'm just saying like for me is I'm like, man, when you don't have kids, it's way easier to lose touch because the kids keep you plugged in, you know, they keep you plugged in. Let's see what we got here. Thank you for sharing the Horror Show channel too, Eli. You're just on it, man. You're on it. Davey, have you seen the anthology movie from 1983 called Nightmares? There's a video game focused segment called The Bishop of Battle with Emilio Estevez. I loved it growing up. I don't think I've ever seen that. Sean. I'm going to look it up on letterboxed here. Oh, come on. Log in, letterboxed. It's, you know, this is 2026. Why is it taking so long? Okay, Nightmares. Have I heard of this? Okay. 1983? Yep, Bishop of Battle. Okay. The artwork looks familiar to me. This is how sleepy I am. I almost said similar to me. Lance Henriksen, Richard Masur, okay, Veronica Cartwright, Moon Unit Zappa. I think that's all you had to say. Cool. Yeah, Joseph Sargent directing. Oh my God, no. Joseph Sargent. Didn't this guy direct Jaws the Revenge? Let me open this. Yeah, he directed Jaws the Revenge. Taking a Pelham 1, 2, 3, directed that too. Sybil MacArthur. Okay. So there's some, okay. So I was selling him short by thinking it's the guy from Jaws the Revenge, although he is very much guilty of Jaws the Revenge. Okay, Sean, I have put Nightmares in my watch list. Thank you so very much, man. I'll have to check it out. Sean, you're filling in for Tia, giving me crap. 5'11 and a half if Tia were here. 5'11 and a half. Oh, there you go. Yeah, it's like that Mike Birbiglia joke where he's like, you know, I thought to myself, do I want to have kids? And then I was like, am I done having fun? And he's like, and the answer was no, so I didn't have kids. All right, let's see what else we got here. Okay, oh my gosh, guys, we are at that 2-hour mark. I'm so sorry, I'm just beat. Sure, you guys can tell it's catching up with me, and I need to go grab a little dinner. So I so much appreciate you guys hanging out. I will be back tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern. I believe that's 7 p.m. UK time, and we're just gonna have a chill Sunday hangout. So whatever you guys want to talk about, I still have to build that stream and everything. But yeah, just go ahead and jump in on that stream. We'll hang out next time around. Let's see here. Paula, you said I missed something of yours. You're 46. Jurassic Park, Jaws, Cujo. Are those your top three? Top three? Paula, if there's anything else that you want to ask me, I will be live tomorrow. So let's have a chat tomorrow. That's going to be it for me this time around, guys. Thank you so very much for tuning in for a little horror news, but really it was just kind of us kicking it, you know, going over that Zach Cregger Resident Evil trailer and everything he had to say about that, which, you know, it does make me feel a little bit better than I felt going into everything with the project. I think we're going to get some stuff that looks pretty damn cool. And then of course, you know, some Evil Dead talk and all that. You guys were great. Oh, that's a start bench cut. Okay, Paula, I didn't know that. I'll do the start bench cut here. Let me grab that. Jurassic Park, Jaws, Cujo. I'm going to start Jaws. It's my favorite movie of all time. I'll bench Jurassic Park because it's like Jaws' sister sequel. You know, in a way, it kind of feels, you know, like a spiritual sequel. And then I'm going to cut Cujo, not because I think it's bad. I just think the other two are some of the best creature features we've ever had. So there you go. All right, guys, that is going to wrap it up for this one. Thank you so very much to everybody that hung out. You guys are amazing. We got Shannon dropping a 5, Jiggy with a 5, Irish with a 5, Media Poop Shoot with a 5. That's our guy, Joe. Shannon dropping another 5. Nanette dropped a 5. Thank you so much, guys. Nathan dropping a 10 and a 5. You guys are so incredible and so supportive. It moves me in the best possible way. And I love you all for the support you give here and the support you give to one another. Speaking of, I meant to bring this up a little bit earlier. Our guy Kyle Curtis Flett from Another World, guys. I'm sure everybody knows. You know, it kind of made the rounds yesterday as we were in the middle of our stream, and I saw so much support in the back channels, on group chats, and from you guys here in the live chat, and multiple different group chats that I have with different people from all over the community, and everyone was so sweet and supportive, and that's exactly the way we need to be for each other. You know, Kyle, if you're watching, man, we all love you, and glad that you're home and resting and everything like that. And guys, just if you pray, say a prayer. If not, that's totally cool. Put some positive thoughts out there. you know, whatever you got, just to, you know, to show somebody some support. And you know, sometimes it's nice, and it doesn't have to be, of course, it doesn't have to be a prayer or anything. Sometimes it's just nice to take a step back from everything that we've got going on and just give a couple minutes of our brain to thinking about somebody else that, you know, that it could just feel good to just sit there and think about somebody else and hope that, you know, they're doing better in this situation, or just sending those positive feelings and everything to them. So I just encourage you guys to do that. And, you know, of course, if you know him personally, you know, I always like reaching out personally with support if it's somebody that I'm comfortable doing that with. So all the best, Kyle. We love you, man. And can't wait till you're back. We're going to make sure that, you know, while you rest up and everything, we're going to make sure that we're still talking about you and showing you that support. So when you come back, it's better than ever. And we can't wait to have you back, man. So there it is, the guys. That's going to wrap up this stream. Thank you so very much. You all are awesome. To the Death Squad mods, to the Patreon members, the YouTube channel members, just everyone that's hanging out and hitting the like, sharing the stream after the fact, dropping in the comments, all that stuff. You guys are awesome. Eli, thank you so much for sharing Kyle's channel right there. Yeah, there you go, guys. You can go ahead and sub and show him some love. Let's get that sub count up while he's recovering, and then when he comes back, he'll have a brand new section of an audience. It'll be friggin' awesome. So there you go. Show some support to our guys. You all are amazing. Absolutely, Aaron. I truly believe that, and I think that let's not sell each other short, regardless of what we may think of one another because of this or because of that. Let's not sell each other short. Let's give each other the benefit of the doubt. I truly believe that, and you know, I think that's one of the most powerful things we can do, Aaron, is not let, you know, they call it the media because it gets in between, right? It's literally between. Let's not let the between screw up something really beautiful that we can all have. You just don't even have to let that in. You know what I mean? We can disagree about a lot of things, but I think we can agree on like the really basic tenets of humanity. And yeah, we need to get back to that. I truly believe that, and I think there are people out there that really do want that as well. I'm not saying that we're not a lost cause. I think there's plenty of hope out there. Yeah, let's be there for one another, people. You guys are awesome. I'm gonna stop just gushing over every little bit here, but send him. Yes, exactly. Thank you, Sean. Yeah, we will do that for you guys. He knows how much support he has, and he knows how loved he is, and he knows that you guys, you know, sent him so much love during that stream, and from everyone else that streamed yesterday and all that. Like it is really a beautiful thing. I know I'm saying that a lot lately, but it really is a beautiful thing. You guys are amazing. That is hilarious, Irish. I love that. You guys are so awesome. I am going to take the rest of the night off here and rest my voice. And yeah, guys, I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you so very much for hanging out. You guys really are the best. So you know how we end things, right? And I know Aaron's worried that I'm going to pull my neck every time I do this. So hopefully I don't do it this time. I think about it every time, Aaron, when I do it. I'm like, if I pull my neck, I am going to blame Aaron Click. So here we go, guys. Until next time, I've been and will continue being Davey Deathray. Take